We throw that word prophet around a lot. A lot of us talk about prophet, prophecy. We talk of Nostradamus foreseeing the future. The word in Aramaic is nabiya, nabiya. Nabiya has some really important root sounds here in Aramaic and Hebrew, but the best way that I can put, and this would be prophet or prophetess. We don't talk about the prophetess often. I do, not many others do, but the prophet, prophetess is not necessarily a soothsayer, crystal ball, one who foresees the future. And let me just add a little piece to that. If you have an addiction to trying to figure out where the world's going in the future, number one, just use common sense. I think you could probably see it with that right now. Number two, all of those 100% that are addicted to trying to figure out some kind of whatever it may be, prophecy for future, that can't let go of that, all that tells me is they're not open and awake now in the present moment. Because when your toes are dipped in eternity in the here and now, the next moment will take care of itself. What do I really mean by that? Prophet, nabiya in Aramaic, is a word that literally means one who is so wholly and fully open that literally eternity speaks through them without their own censoring, without their own judgments, without their own fears and phobias and indoctrinations, without their second guessing what's coming through. Literally, that eternity speaks immediately through us. So let's look at some of the roots in the word. This is coming from the Faber's work, from Hebraic Roots Restored, amazing book that I've been working with for quite a long time, put down for quite a while, and then started picking up again in the last 3 or 4 years. So, nub, the mysterious root, being united by contraction to the sign of produced existence. Okay, what, Dale? Gives rise to a new root, whence emanate all ideas of divine inspiration. Prophecy, theophany, and, in consequence, that of exaltation, ecstasy, rapture, perturbation. Let's pause. What does perturbation mean? Perturbation is a word that means several things. It could be anxiety where we're basically mistakenly looking at conditions and allowing conditions to run what we're feeling. Or, it's funny because the next thing DeFaber wrote is religious horror. What does that mean? Well, that's spiritual things that literally turn us upside down and inside out. And in the words of Dr. Michael Rice, awakening is not Dr. Feelgood. It's not. So if you have this idea that we're all just this cute love and light, and yeah, that's fine. But if you have any kind of shadow in your heart and you're constantly affirming love and light, what you're actually doing is affirming and anchoring in its exact opposite, the resonance of the entirety of your being, not simply what you're speaking into existence, which is 2% of your iceberg. So that perturbation, it also means something that is almost knocked off course by an outside influence. So what are we saying here? What we're saying about the prophet is the one whose sine wave is so pure, whose message is so incredibly eternal, not because of ideas, indoctrination, and conditioning in their head or mind, but rather because of the purity of the humility of their open heart, that even when outside influences come in and that religious horror that would knock anybody else off course, it's not able to touch you. Why is it not able to touch you? Because, in the words of the Lakota, you allow the wind to blow through you. This is really the third beatitude, that not blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth, but rather those of absolute humility. And Nabiya, the prophet, the prophetess, are those who radiate that humility through literally the eternal light of the cosmos coming through them. Let's look a little deeper here. The Hebrew word Nabiya, prophet, is formed of the root alluded to here, which is the nub, and to the root Yah, a symbol of divine power. And we all know that aspect of Yahweh, which there's so much garbage out there, pro and con, about Yahweh. What's more important here, again, is not what we are addicted to in our conditioning, but that our hearts are open to allow literally the love of life itself to speak through us. The action of one who announces the will of heaven. Who's a prophet? Who's a prophetess? You are. When you let go and allow your heart to be wholly, fully patach, open. I love you all so dearly. We are literally the ones we have been waiting for. It's us. We chose to be here at this very specific moment in human history, in the evolution of awakening, to assist each other in navigating the cosmic shift. And I love you all so dearly.